Our our team is locked in. You know, really proud of these kids. Really proud of how they continue to compete. The A&M, you know, the A&M game was to me a tale of two stories. So hopefully we learn. We have a lot of things that we can learn from that, and maybe take to a hostile environment. I love the story that Tony tells about Andy Grove when he pitched at LSU earlier in the season as a freshman, and he had to put him in that environment. And then later in the year, it paid dividends when he went to South Carolina. It's the same deal. That we built that big lead up, but Denham had to be in that situation, and she had to feel those emotions. So maybe when we get in a situation later in the year, she can draw that experience and it can help her. So, you know, we talk about softball and athletics being a trial run for life. And a lot of this stuff, a lot of these experiences that these kids go through is going to help them in other experiences when they chase them later down the line. So I believe that it is what we talked about. Being able to have some success while you're going through that learning and growing process is the best of both worlds. So our kids are drawing on those experiences. They're learning from those experiences. The game is gonna teach you humility. And these kids are very grounded. They're gonna be back in the cage today. They're gonna be back at work today. They're gonna be back doing the things that they need to do in order to keep building and getting better day by day. Yeah, 2 is the best spot. 2 is the best spot for her, and our team is doing a good job. You know, the speed kids are doing a good job in front of her. Gravio, man, I can't say enough about the job that kid's doing. And then the 2 kids behind her, Hayden and Aaliyah, they got her back.
A little bit about that. You know, they kind of another 2 great bats in the lineup, and teams are basically saying, well, Lloyd Sanders to give to them, and they kind of made a play on Sunday for sure.
You know, hitting is chemistry, and it is a connection. You know, I know people on the outside always put the spotlight on 1 or 2. And sometimes they never even see something like what Corinne Vonche did in game 1. Fouled off, 10, 12 pitches, and then finally got hit or drew the base on ball. That was a huge at-bat, which nobody's ever going to really remember because then they see the 2 home runs. And at-bats and lineups it's not about individual personalities. It's about how those kids connect with each other. And DJ is having a special year, and this year the spotlight's on her. Last year was on Elkins. You know, and we've been through this. Everybody wants to talk about one kid over and over and over and over again. But in order for that one kid to be having the special year that she's having, it's the people around her that make it special. And this year, the connection that those kids have been able to build, because early in the year it wasn't there. We talked about it every time I came in here. There's no flow. There's no connection. These kids don't get it. They don't understand their roles. They're all up there trying to hit home runs. They're all up there having their own individual at-bats, etc., etc. Now we got about six, if I'm counting right, 6 or 7 that get it. Still got 2 more to go, though. And then we gotta, we gotta keep those other 6 or 7 locked in, too. We can't let them get distracted by the successes or the spotlight or all the stuff that people are telling them. They gotta stay grounded, and hitting is so hard to do. There's no... Hopefully people understand that you just don't do what that kid's doing. I mean, that's... When it doesn't happen tomorrow, he shoots 1 home run out of 20 at-bats, and people say, what happened? Well, that's more natural. So we can't let the expectations get out of line. We just have to continue. I thought what was weird, I forget what day, was really weird. We scored all those runs in 1 inning. Everybody stood up and started clapping. And then the next inning we scored 2 runs, and everybody's like, oh. And I called the team together and I said, all right now, scoring 2 runs in an inning is a good thing. Manufacturing a run in an inning is a good thing. So let's keep our perspective here a little bit. Appreciate when something out of the ordinary happens, something extraordinary happens, and appreciate it. But understand that's not the way the game is it's not the way it's gonna play out. When it's time for this team to write its final script, it's gonna be about a key hit and a key moment. It's gonna be about manufacturing a run. And trust me, it's gonna be about somebody other than DJ being at the plate, having to get it done. I know, I can honestly tell you that the way that team started that game, the way that they walked on the field and they started the game is what they expected. And they expected to walk in there and just get after it. The way the game finished left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I mean, everybody. And you just didn't like just that hanging on kind of feeling, where we're just trying to hang on and be just happy to beat them. A lot of people around here, oh, that's great that you beat A&M, but that wasn't our mindset. That wasn't our mindset going into the game, that we expected to beat them. We were prepared, and we were ready to go. And I think the way our kids played early was exactly the way they expected to play, but the way that we just hung on at the end, I don't think anybody can be happy with that. And it's not the win, and it's not the loss. It doesn't have anything to do with the win or the loss, or what conference you're affiliated with, or what you're ranked, or what your number, or what name's in the front of your jersey, or none of that. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with how you play the game, pitch by pitch, what your mindset is, how you're approaching it, how you're attacking it. The way that our kids walked into there is the right way. The way that we finished the game is not the right way, no matter what the scoreboard says. Well, the game finished with us hanging on. The game finished. I mean, I was in the dugout. I know what our mindset was. I know what our team mindset was. Again, you see results. You know what I'm saying? You see outcome. I don't see outcome. I don't see results. I see process. So I don't see game ending with a strikeout. I see process. I see mindset. I see where is our team mentally? How are we competing? What are we doing? I don't see how many runs go on the board. I can see kids having great at-bats and not getting good outcome. I can see kids doing great things and not getting good results, or maybe not even getting a W. Then I see kids doing things or having some negative thinking, and maybe the game lets them get a win or lets them get a hit, but it's not good. It's not a good thing. That's what we have to do. We're not basing our performance on just the result of the outcome. We have to be more objective about how our kids are performing. And sometimes to me, like the greatest competitors are able to do analysis of their performance based on things that I'm talking about. Mindset, preparation, how you interact and work with each other, rather than just an outcome or a win. So, I'm going to say it again. I don't like the way we competed on the back end of that game. And we have to fix that. That has to get fixed. Am I being too tough? You know, am I being just too out of touch with playing the game? We talked about that the other day. Tony was up here the other day about talking about throwing down, and it's not about just being happy, and it's not about just that emotion of feeling good. Is that being too tough? I mean, is that being too tough on our kids to expect them to ask them to keep a positive mindset and to trust their preparation, their process over a 2.5 hour span? If it is, then it's okay. But I'm about throwing down. I'm about that kind of philosophy that we gotta expect that from our kids. If the objective is to be a champion at the end.
Don't you think you're going to have more of those kind of games moving forward in the postseason than what we had this past weekend?
And I don't know that you can win in postseason against some of these orbs that are in college softball right now, having to score 11 runs to beat them. I don't think that's possible.
So they're going to be hanging on, basically.
There's no hanging on. If you're hanging on, you have to be able to attack. You have to be able to find a way to exploit their weaknesses. You have to find a way to put them away. I don't know. I don't think 11-9 is the way to win championship softball, but hey, look, I'll take it, but I just think we have to be a little tougher in that situation. Am I happy that we won? Yes. Do I think we could have competed more consistently throughout that game? Yes. Do I think that we have to, if we're going to be the last team standing in our sport this year? Yes, we do. We're going to have to. Or the season's going to end with a lot of kids upset. Well, you know I'm not answering that question.
Would you pitch?
No. I pitch her every day. Right now, I would not pitch her. No, I would not. She can hit every pitch. And she's locked in. I mean, I can't even go there. I have some thoughts in my mind, but the kid's good. I wouldn't pitch to Haley either. I wouldn't pitch to Aaliyah either. I wouldn't pitch to Carol right now. So I got the same confidence in all 4 of those kids right now, that those kids are like totally locked in.
Speaking of Haley, heading into like senior weekend, you know, you talked about a leadership.
Thanks for reminding me of that. I forgot about senior weekend.
Yeah, senior weekend, you know,
I was talking to Tony.
You talked about her being the leader of the team. What has it been like for like her growing into that role and growing as a player?
Man, Haley's an unbelievable kid. She came here probably one of the most competitive kids that we've ever recruited. She's a pitcher, shortstop. I mean, there's a kid who her mother played college softball. So when she got here, she already had that competitive personality. So she started as a freshman, played center field, had really a good year, hit the top end of the lineup. We're able to move her into the infield, you know, in her middle years. This year, moving her all over the place, but she's continued to be able to, whatever position we are shorthanded at, or whatever position there's a need at, we can just put her there. And then what she's been able to do offensively, how consistent she's been over all 4 years has been amazing. And then she's been on the student advisory, athletic advisory board for all 4 years. So what she does in the community, in the classroom, 3.5, 3 point, and then what she does in that locker room, she is an extension of this staff. She's able to love kids, and she's able to motivate them, and she's able to be soft, and then she's able to be firm. She's amazing. I mean, and her talent speaks for itself, but she's just an amazing kid. I was talking to Tony, so I forgot about senior weekend. Sarah Arsenault, Victoria Brown, Haley Hayden, Kendall Smith, Macy Smith, Alex Stewart, Taylor Terrio, Corinne Vaughn, Cassidy Zarek. So really a great group of kids who have formed the core of what we've been trying to do here. Some of those kids, like Haley, get the spotlight, have a lot of success on the field. A lot of these kids have been role players and really have not gotten their way. But despite that, have been kids that have been great teammates and have worked hard every day, have held up to the standard of what we expect in the classroom or the field, have been great teammates, have done the things necessary to help us grow and get better. All behind the scenes, but those kind of kids are hard to find. Hard to find kids that don't get their way, but still that are bought in and don't cause drama and don't cause conflict in the locker room and support their other sisters. Not something that's very familiar now in college athletics. People don't get their way, they transfer. People don't get their way, they leave. People don't get their way, they cause trouble. This group of seniors, they came in together, they're going to leave together, and they've been a special group. The reason why we have success consistently is because of people like Macy Smith, who, her story is incredible, who never throws, that's, less than 9-10 innings a year. Yeah, we call her in the conference tournament last year, and she throws a no-hitter. But every Tuesday and Thursday, she's out of that field throwing hitters' rods, making our hitters better. Alex Stewart, everybody knows Alex's story. Alex has just come on, such a competitor. Sarah Arsenault, another kid, local kid. Hasn't played a lot, but every day doing her work, loves UL. At every UL event, every UL function, loves the school, loves her teammate. Corinne Vaughn, Corinne was a starter on the World Series team. She was a starting shortstop. Tore ACL, had 2 or 3 surgeries. Really wasn't expected to play this year. And now really doing a phenomenal job at first base. There's a Ragin kid, I've heard her story, came here on a soccer scholarship. After her first year, decided to come over to softball. She was at ESPN last week. That kid made some ESPN plays even yesterday. She's phenomenal, really, and has developed her game offensively. Victoria Brown, same as Macy, is going through a lot of injuries. Has not done a lot of pitching in game situations, but throws inter squads every week. Taylor Terrio was the freshman of the Southland, her freshman year at Nichols. Left there and transferred here to be a role player. It's amazing, and loves it here. Went from playing all the time and conference player of the year to here being a role player. That's what makes this program special. And then Kendall Smith, of course, her older sister played here and was an All-American. Kendall wanted to come here as a legacy player and has played her role as a pinch runner. And all these kids are going to graduate. All these kids are going to leave here with their degrees. All these kids are going to leave here better than when they got here and have made us better since they got here. So that's a win-win. But to answer your question on Haley, phenomenal kid. As are all of these kids.
So can you talk a little bit more about Corinne Blanchett? You know, to this point, really didn't have a lot of stats in the first 3 years, and now she's kind of locked down first base.
Man, you know, we were looking, trying to figure out who was going to step up. Corinne, they're telling her that her knee's not really going to hold out, that she shouldn't be doing limited work on that knee. So I at the beginning of the year, I just used her as a pinch hitter. I just let her hit in key situations. She got great hand-eye. If you look at her numbers, she doesn't strike out. She doesn't have a lot of power, doesn't have any speed, but she got great barrel control, and she's got great hand-eye. And some of the scrimmages, you know, you said, Corinne, if you can just put the ball in play, extended bats, move the ball around. She is a college shortstop. I mean, she played shortstop that whole year. In 2014, we went to the World Series. She was our starting shortstop. So she's got a phenomenal glove. And she understands the game. And now what she's doing offensively. And then this is the key. She's a senior. She's been through it. She's not a freshman. You don't have to babysit her. It's a tough kid who knows what to do. And you can put her out there, and you can put her in tough situations, and she knows what to do. 4 years experience, she's tough, man. She's physically tough, having gone through all those surgeries and still grind it out. You know, she's in pain every time she takes a step. She's mentally smart, having been a shortstop her whole career. And now, getting her in the lineup it's energized her. She's like an old lady, you know, an old lady with some energy now. She's like, let's go. This is going to be fun. Let's get this done. So Corinne is really solidified. She's solidified the back end of that lineup. And defensively, she's made us really, really good.